Pay close attention because something unexpected has appeared inside thousands of Social Security accounts, and almost no one is discussing it. A new internal marker called Code 92 has quietly moved into Phase 2, and its full launch is scheduled for next week. If you receive Social Security, SSI, or SSDI, this is more important than you might think. People who logged into their SSA portal last week are checking again today and noticing changes they weren't anticipating. For months, Code 92 has been surrounded by speculation. Some believed it was tied to account reviews, others thought it had to do with payment scheduling, and some assumed it was linked to upcoming benefit updates. But now one thing is clear. Phase 2 is live, and it impacts your payment timing, your eligibility indicators, and in certain situations, whether your next deposit arrives when it should. Here's the part most people are missing. Phase 2 is not being announced publicly. There is no mass email, no press conference, no warning. It's happening inside your SSA portal quietly, and it will only appear for people whose accounts have been flagged for review under Code 92. That means the only way to know if you're included is to log in and check it for yourself. Some users are already reporting a new line under their payment history showing pending verification dates, adjustment notices, or simply the label 92 Phase 2 Review. Others are seeing their next payment marked as processing even when the deposit date is still weeks away. All of this is tied to a rollout the SSA has been preparing behind the scenes for months. So before next week arrives, you need to know exactly what Code 92 actually means, why Phase 2 is happening now, and most importantly, how this could affect your upcoming benefit. Because if you think you've already checked your portal and everything is fine, you might want to check again. What happens next will surprise you. Now let's break down what Code 92 really is, where it came from, and why Phase 2 is triggering a new wave of portal alerts across the entire system. To understand what's happening right now, you need to know what Code 92 actually represents. Inside the Social Security Administration, internal codes are used to mark accounts for reviews, adjustments, or timing checks. Most people never see these codes, and the agency rarely explains them publicly. Code 92 is one of those internal signals. It's tied to payment validation, eligibility confirmation, and cross-checking your information against updated federal records. Phase 1 of Code 92 quietly went live earlier this year. It focused on a limited group of accounts, mainly people whose details needed to be verified again. That included mismatched addresses, old income information, or files that hadn't been manually reviewed in a long time. If you were pulled into Phase 1, you probably remember unexpected portal notices, slowed processing, or prompts asking you to confirm basic identity details. Phase 1 was meant to move quickly, but it didn't. The agency ran into delays because of staffing shortages, heavy workloads, and a backlog that piled up during the last federal update cycle. That's why Phase 2 is so important now. It isn't just the next step. It's a wider rollout meant to clear months of unfinished work. So what does Phase 2 involve? It includes several major account checks. First, an eligibility re-review for certain beneficiaries, especially those receiving SSI and SSDI. Second, a timing audit that looks at whether your payment dates need to be adjusted based on recent system updates. Third, an identity and documentation confirmation round, which ensures your information is current before next year's policy changes. This is important. Phase 2 isn't a cut and it isn't a reduction, but it can affect when your payment arrives, whether your status appears as pending, or whether you're asked to upload or confirm information in your SSA portal. Some beneficiaries won't notice any changes at all, while others may receive alerts that require action within a specific deadline. There's another layer to Code 92. Phase 2 is being released in waves, starting with certain states and zip code areas. That means two people in different locations may see completely different portal messages at the same time. This is why so many people are confused. Some accounts show updates, others don't, and the SSA isn't sending notifications to explain what's happening. Before you get too concerned, here's the truth. Phase 2 is not targeting people to remove their benefits. It's targeting outdated files, old data, and inconsistencies that need to be fixed before the larger federal upgrades kick in next year. But if your account falls into one of the flagged categories, you will absolutely want to check your SSA portal, because small changes now can prevent big delays later. In a moment, we're going to break down exactly who needs to check their portal right away and what signs to look for once you're logged in. The rollout date is approaching fast, and your zip code might be in the first wave without you even knowing it. Let's go deeper. Who is actually affected by Code 92 Phase 2? And what happens inside your SSA portal once the rollout begins next week? Because this phase isn't hitting everyone at the same time, and it isn't hitting every benefit program in the same way. 3 major groups are in the first wave, and each one has something different to watch for. The first group is retirees receiving regular Social Security. For these beneficiaries, Phase 2 focuses mainly on payment timing and identity verification. If you're in this group, you may see new lines in your payment history that say processing review or pending validation. You may also see a small yellow alert box that reads action may be required. This doesn't mean your check is being stopped. It means the system is checking your information against updated federal records. And if something doesn't match, you'll be asked to confirm it. The second group includes SSDI recipients. This group is receiving the most focus in Phase 2 because disability files often contain medical records, income updates, past work credits, and review cycles that haven't been synced for years. Many SSDI beneficiaries will notice a Code 92 tag in the benefit details section. Some may see a prompt for an ID recheck, while others might be asked to review or confirm past income information. In most cases, these messages are straightforward and take just a few minutes to complete, but ignoring them could delay your next payment. The third group covers SSI beneficiaries. SSI is closely monitored since it's based on income and resources. Phase 2 introduces a new automated review system that cross-checks bank balances, housing support, and reported income against federal databases. If your account falls into this group, you may see a section labeled eligibility factors under review. In some regions, the SSA is also adding a temporary notice that reads awaiting system update, which simply indicates that your information is being synchronized behind the scenes. Now let's go over the rollout regions. Phase 2 isn't launching nationwide all at once. It starts in specific zip code ranges across several states. Early reports show the first wave hitting parts of Texas, Florida, California, Ohio, Arizona, and North Carolina. The reason is simple. These states have large beneficiary populations and backlogs from earlier this year. But the rollout is moving quickly, and every area should be included within the next 6 weeks. So what should you actually look for in your SSA portal? There are 4 main signs that your account is part of Phase 2. First, the appearance of Code 92 or any variation of 92 review. Second, any notice marked action required or identity confirmation needed. Third, payment history lines marked pending, processing, or under review. And fourth, timeline notes showing next week's date or later. Before you worry about any of these new alerts, here's the truth. Phase 2 isn't built to reduce anyone's benefits. Its purpose is to clear out outdated information before next year's major system overhaul. The SSA knows that old forms, mismatched data, and unresolved errors can interfere with payments. Phase 2 is intended to fix those issues ahead of time so your future deposits continue without interruption. Here's the part most people don't expect. Some beneficiaries in the flagged group may actually receive an increase. That can include corrections for months where someone was underpaid, reinstated benefits for people whose files were incomplete, or cost of living adjustments that weren't applied correctly in earlier years. These updates only affect certain accounts, but they are legitimate, and they're being processed automatically in the system. But there's a catch. You only receive those corrections if your account is updated on time. If your portal shows a request for re-verification and you ignore it, your case remains frozen until the information is supplied. That's why checking now before next week's official rollout can save you from delays, missed adjustments, or unnecessary stress. Now that you know what Phase 2 is and who it affects, let's talk about what you should do right now. The first step is simple but important. Log into your SSA portal and check your messages, your payment history, and your benefit details. Do not just look at the homepage. Click through each tab to make sure nothing new has appeared. Many of the Code 92 alerts are hidden inside sections that most people skip. If you see any message labeled "Action Required," open it immediately. Even if the message is short, completing it now prevents your account from getting stuck in processing next week. If the portal asks you to confirm your address, update a phone number, or verify basic identity information, do it as soon as possible. These small confirmations can stop delays before they even begin. If your account does not show any alerts, that's good news. But remember, Phase 2 rolls out by zip code in stages. You may not see anything today, but your update could arrive tomorrow or early next week or anytime during the 6-week rollout window. That's why checking regularly is so important. One missed notice can pause your next benefit cycle, and most people won't realize it until their deposit date passes. Here's the timeline. Phase 2 begins next week, starting with the largest beneficiary states and spreading nationwide in waves. Each wave lasts several days. The entire review cycle is expected to run for about 6 weeks. That means every beneficiary in every state will eventually see an update, a review notice, or at the very least a refreshed payment schedule. Now here's the reassurance you need to hear. This is not a benefit cut. It's not a reduction. It's not a removal of anyone's Social Security, SSI, or SSDI. Phase 2 is a cleanup operation. It's the agency making sure your information is correct before next year's major changes go into effect. Millions of people will see no interruptions at all. Others will only need to confirm a small detail. And in certain cases, underpayments or missed adjustments may finally be corrected. But timing matters. If your portal shows a notice and you ignore it, your account can move into a pending status. Pending means paused. Paused means delayed payments. And delayed payments means stress you absolutely do not need. Checking early is the smartest thing you can do. So here's your final reminder. Before the week is over, log in, review your status. Look for code 92. Look for anything labeled pending, processing, or under review. And if the system asks you to confirm or upload something, take care of it immediately. That one simple step protects your benefits, your finances, and your peace of mind. And if you want updates the moment new information is released, make sure you subscribe. This channel breaks down every Social Security change, every alert, and every new rollout. The government doesn't always explain what's happening, but here, you'll always get it clearly. Stay informed, stay ready, and remember you're not navigating this alone. I'll be here to walk you through each update.